Have you ever caught a police officer lying in court? Yes. Unfortunately for me, I was the defendant and he was lying about me. At the time, I worked as a high-end escort, which was illegal in my state, and I was always on the lookout for police things for this very reason. I didn't like to go to hotels, but against my better judgment, I went that night. The man seemed suspicious. His questions sounded like a cop, and I realized what was happening and stopped talking. I never said anything incriminating and attempted to do what I had supposedly come to do anyway, which was to give him a massage. I should have left right then, but I didn't. He identified himself as an officer, and a bunch of other cops came in and questioned me. I said nothing and was arrested. They stole money out of my purse too, and when I told them there was money missing, they told me I was the criminal and how dare I make accusations. I knew I hadn't admitted to anything illegal, so 6 months later, when I finally was summoned to court on the matter, I obtained an attorney. He probably thought I was crazy for fighting a minor prostitution charge. That would have been a sentence of time served, but I wasn't going to have that on my record. When I knew they had no proof, I was sure there was a recording, maybe even a video, that would exonerate me. My attorney tried for months to get the evidence, but the police wouldn't share it. 8 months later, he got the police report, and it was full of lies. It even had my hair and eye color wrong. Besides the fact it said I had offered myself for $200. Even if I were guilty, I'd never charge so little. 18 months after the original court date was scheduled, in 2 years after my arrest, just before the trial is to start, the prosecutor finally tells my attorney that he can listen to the recording of me supposedly committing this crime. I was excited. Finally, I was going to be vindicated. My attorney comes back and says that it was the wrong tape. Their tape wasn't even of me, and they don't know what happened to the real one. We enter the courtroom. The prosecutor tried to delay the trial again, but the judge refused. He said my right to a speedy trial had already been ignored for too long. This cop gets on the stand and admits that he was in charge of the tape and that he was even the officer in charge of the evidence room where it was kept, but he has no idea what happened to it. When questioned by the prosecutor, he repeated the same lies from the police report and even added new details he remembered 2 years later. I was livid listening to all these lies. This is supposed to be someone who serves and protects us, and he is perjuring himself over a misdemeanor minor charge. How many innocent people has he sent to prison? I didn't commit a crime that day, and in the end, his lies helped prove my innocence. Remember how the police report got my hair and eye color wrong? I have very pale blonde hair and blue eyes. This police report said I had black hair and brown eyes. So when my attorney was questioning the officer, he asked if the police report was accurate. Officer said it was all 100% true. Then my lawyer asked if he recognized me from that night. The officer pointed at me. My attorney said, "How can you be sure? It's been 2 years." The officer replied, "I recognize her long, light blonde hair." My lawyer pointed out how his police report said that the person that had done all these things had black hair. The judge didn't even deliberate. He said that he wasn't happy that they lost the only real evidence they had, and he wasn't even convinced that I was the person he arrested that night, and he found me not guilty. My attorney was thrilled. His fee was only $400, and we'd gone to trial. I know he sometimes thought I was guilty and should just let it go. It could have easily gone the other way with the lost evidence and perjury, but I can tell you that now that I am much older and in the business field, I'm glad not to have a prostitution charge on my record. This whole experience gave me a terrible view of police. This officer was willing to destroy evidence and lie under oath over a minor charge. I used to think if cops lied in court, it was to put dangerous criminals behind bars. That's still wrong, but at least you could understand their flawed reasoning. But my case, I was a college student and single mother. I wouldn't have gotten any jail time anyway, or even a fine. I would have gotten time served. He did all this out of spite because I didn't confess when they tried to trap me. I feel so bad for all the poor souls who are innocent and rotting away in prisons at the hands of terrible officers like him.